All right, welcome back to Rare Photos. Some of y'all said, "Hey, I want y'all to finish Johnny Lang's book." I thought I did. There might have been a couple pages left, so let's get in here and read the final pages of this. And of course, if you're curious about the rest of the pages, if you're just catching this right now, all you have to do is click on the Rare Photos that's below the video, and then look for playlists, and you'll see my Army Days with Elvis, along with other playlists like Child Bride and the other books that I'm reading. So we did Lansky Brothers. We said saying goodbye because he went to Graceland and visited the grave. Reflection, which we talked about that. And he talked about the comparison of Elvis to Michael Jackson. Then Appendix, interviews with two of Elvis's friends from their Army days. We did some Elizabeth and Rex. Elizabeth on Johnny and Elvis. I feel like we probably got through most all of this, but I'm going to we talked about Wes Daniels. Okay. Talked about Elvis doing fireworks on the second floor with $200 to $300 worth of fireworks there. And then, but let's start here. Bar visits and gospel music. Thank you, by the way, for subscribers. Thank you for the members. Thank you for those that leave me super thanks. I gotta remember to drink more water here. I'm in the middle of a diet, for health reasons, right? I mean, people go, "Oh, you don't need a diet," you know. But I'm in the middle of a fish diet, basically. I mean, I've never been a big fish fan, but there are certain fishes I'll eat, like whitefish, lemon pepper whitefish, and tuna. It's protein. It restarts your metabolism and keeps it going. Makes you feel a bit more full too, and it's low calories. I just got to make sure I drink enough water with it, right? I'm on day 4, day 5 right now. And I am never good about drinking water. Like, I grew up in the desert of California where it's 120, 130, and I think my body got used to just baking in the heat and not drinking much because we didn't have running water or, sewer systems, none of that stuff. Okay, let's go. Mostly while we were in Germany, we would hang out at the bar. It was cool. Germany was a place where the two guys, Red and Lamar, lived with Elvis. Elvis went to bed and went to sleep every night at 9 p.m. So at 9 p.m., Red and Lamar were free. I would pick them up and we would head down to the bar and hang out down there for the night. So other times, Elvis would stay up a little later. I'd get to the bar early and Elvis would play his guitar and start singing this and that and the other thing, and we would just kind of hang out. I recall when I first heard Elvis's love of gospel music. When I went to his home, he comes down and plays the guitar and sings. He never sang one of the songs that he recorded, only sang gospel music. He played pleasure piano. Mahalia Jackson and all the gospel musics were his favorite. And I would switch from doo-wop to gospel, so we'd do the background and sing gospel music all night. Nightlife in Frankfurt. When we got to Germany, we didn't really go out a lot to movies or to the shows because we basically stayed in Elvis's house every night. Every night Elvis stayed in, except for a place in Frankfurt, Germany. An American man had married a German woman and they bought a bar. They would allow Elvis to go upstairs to the balcony and they wouldn't let anyone else be up there. Then we'd come and we'd go up the steps and go hang out on the balcony. There was a piano player there in a show. That's where we went every once in a while. Now, then one time, we went to Holiday on Ice. Elvis was a spur-of-the-moment guy. We would be sitting there doing nothing. Then someone would say, "Let's go to Holiday on Ice," or "Let's go to the ball." Then he'd go up and go. That's just the way he was. So we used to go to the bar, and he would call up and tell them that we were coming, and they would just clear the whole balcony out. Then we would go up the back steps and hang out. Now, he didn't drink. He just drank Pepsi. That's all he drank. Football. Holy crap. Johnny Lang used to come on the weekend. Now, this must be Wes Daniels. That's a recollecting here. We played football, but it wasn't just playing football. It was like a big game. So if it was raining, you couldn't tell Elvis that it's raining and we're not going to play because we played anyways. I remember one day we were getting ready to go up to that field to play the game, and I think it was on a Sunday. A sheep herder had come through, and there were about 500 heads of sheep that went through that field, and they were just passing by. So naturally, when all the sheep got out of the field, you know what was in the field? It was sheep poop. We said, "Oh my God, look at this. They pooped all over the place." Elvis said, "No, we're playing anyways, boys." So we played in that poop all day long until we finished the game. We had sheep poop all over us, but we played anyways, and that's just the way Elvis was. We had so many people who used to come to the game that the crowds got really, really big because they were all looking to see Elvis play. At the end of the game, we would have to huddle up on the side nearest to his house on the field, and then Elvis would count up to 3, and we'd make a mad dash for it with 200 people running behind him, and it was crazy. Elvis was a die-hard player. In fact, he wasn't a bad football player. Of course, Elvis was the quarterback, and Rex usually was on the side of red, and Johnny ran the ball. Photo memories or not. Now, this is something I did talk to Johnny Lang about in a conversation a long time ago. It's kind of a sad thing. I took pictures in the Army, but later I sold all the pictures I had to Joe Esposito. Joe had somebody contact me a few years ago, and I forwarded all the pictures that I had. Now, I sold the originals, and I don't have any copies. I have nothing. Believe me, they cleaned me out. The only picture I have of me is me and Elvis in a magazine from when we were at the Ice Capades. We're all sitting in a row. We went to the Ice Capades to Holiday on Ice. So when I went to the counter to buy the tickets for the Ice Capades, the guy said, "It's sold out." I said, "All right, I'll tell Elvis that you sold out." "Oh, Elvis?" They went crazy with excitement. They brought us in and put us all in the front or second row. We sat on that row where we saw most of the show from. And then they came out. And they wanted us to come backstage and meet the cast of the show. So we all went backstage and we had a party with the cast. It was their last night, so we had a party with the world's best skaters, and it was great. It was really great. Now, I got out of the Army and I left before Elvis did. My time was up ahead of his, so I left Germany and came back by boat. When we came back to the States, we did not keep in contact with one another, so we never did meet back up. When I got home, I had some problems in my family problems that I had to stay close to home. I was supposed to go down to Memphis, and Elvis told me to come down and see them, but I never went. So I think that the people that asked me to finish my Army Days with Elvis, I did finish it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of maybe potentially repeating it. This is the last section right here. Johnny Lang was a very, very personable guy. He used to come all the time on the weekends. Johnny played football with the group, and I got to be friends with him. He didn't stay to go to the bar with us, but he did come to play football every weekend and hung out at the house. Johnny had a certain time that he had to be back at the barracks, but I had a pass with me all the time because I was a photographer for the newspaper. I went off post whenever I had to, so I had an overnight pass with me all of the time. That's got to be Wes Daniels that's talking. Closing memories, meeting Joe Esposito. Elvis was really sort of an easy guy to know. He was personable. He liked people and liked to have fun. And of course, he loved gospel music. He was unpredictable and you never knew what was going to happen next. Elvis was a spur-of-the-moment guy. He'd say, "Let's go." And then we'd get in a car full of guys. It was always a group of guys that went. He was a fun-loving guy, easy to get along with. And I could bring anybody to that house and they were welcomed with open arms. That's how he met Joe Esposito. Joe was a friend of mine from the post, and he wanted to come with me to Elvis's house. Well, I took him over cold. You know, Elvis would say, "Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name?" I mean, he was welcomed. Elvis ended up liking him and gave him a job when he got out of the Army. He became Elvis's road manager and part of the Memphis Mafia. So there's how Joe Esposito, through Johnny Lang and Wes Daniels, in a sense, more Wes Daniels, obviously, probably. But I think that, I don't know whether Johnny introduced Wes Daniels to Elvis. This is a great book. Find it on Amazon, okay? Find this book on Amazon. Support Johnny Lang. There's still brand new copies that are out there. Okay, a lot of the books that I read are out of print. and they're not being pressed anymore. But this is one that it still has a number of copies available, and you could help a guy out. He's 80-some years old. Nice fella. He wrote that book. Very, very, very positive. If you're catching it now, click on Ray Elvis Photos, go to playlist, and do my Army Days with Elvis, and start from the beginning. Okay, TCB TLC, this is Ray Elvis Photos. Hope you have a wonderful day.